Hello everyone and welcome to the Solar Flow Show. Today we are doing a booster story like we do. We are actually continuing on the story that we started last week, and this is now the third part. We are gonna open one booster of magic from the Adventures in the Forgotten Realms Dungeons and Dragons edition, and we will try to tell a story with those cards. Just those cards, but all those cards. So we have a party of characters made of Aramithiniel Embergleam, who everybody calls Ember, Zalnad Longfinger, but Zalnad is enough, Barwin of the clan Undur, which is a lady dwarf cleric, and another dwarf, Gloomstalker, who's known Karuk Aronsworn, and Karuk has Cleo, his hook, and if I don't put it there, you won't see it because, well, no, I don't have a lot of place. So they had gone through the wilderness around the hill of the lost tears, and had discovered that a Baleful beholder was the reason why all the halfling had left the country. Karuk had told them that the Demogorgon was also roaming the side, roaming around, and was a problem. It was the problem, he was aware, and also that a Xorn was there. A Jinn had told them that. They got rid of the Xorn last session and had been given by the Windseer an invocation, a Root Runner, which is not a D&D card, but there is a spot in the boosters that are opening, those boosters, for a card from a special list, and that's one of the cards from the special list, which can be quite a lot of different cards, but that's the one I got. And last time they had Trixie the Pixie and her husband, the Troll Lord, as allies in their quest. So what's gonna happen today? Well, we'll see soon. Let's crack this one open and hope for some nice cards. First card is always something nice, and I think that's a bullet. I think that's the name of the normal card, but that's actually, I like really those cards. Yeah, it's a bullet. We have the stats for Dungeons and Dragons on the back, which is also a tool that I might use in the future, at least for Dungeons and Dragons, not for streaming. So we have a forest and a Pegasus as our first card. And that's still the same kind of Pegasi we had before. So we remember from another story. Did we have a Pegasus in that story yet? Yes, we had a Pegasus, but the Pegasus was only in the story of the Troubadour. Now I remember. So our party is interested by a sight that they have now before them in the sky. They are going through a small forest and they hear a flight of Pegasi above them. Our stoker, Karuk, decides, I'll go up this tree and I will look what is going on there. It's not normal. Normally we don't have any Pegasi in here. And as soon as he arrives on top of the tree, he sees that this is not a normal flight of Pegasi. These Pegasi are under the influence of the beholder that is near the vicinity. He probably had with his eyes a possibility to enchant them, and the way they fly is a bit not erratic, but it's too well ordered. It's really a V flight like you would expect from G's, but not from Pegasi. And they are cruising around over the forest. So the first thing Karuk says to everybody is, "Friends, just go in hiding. We probably don't want to fight them right now." And he was right to have them go in hiding, because as soon as they have hidden in somewhere in the bushes or in a grotto or somewhere, they see that just after the flight of Pegasi, the baleful beholder, the kingpin that has been terrorizing this region, is following them, attacking them. Attacking him right now would probably be too dangerous. He is with his flight of Pegasi, but probably also with a lot of other of his, well, let's just say friends or servants, more likely to be servants of the dangerous kind. So our party decides to go on and maybe attack later on the Baleful Beholder. And they happen to a river. And they can't just cross like that. They have to find a crossing. And while they are searching for a crossing, they see in the back a pair of goblins. A pair of goblins shouldn't be a problem, but could mean trouble. So they decide to go after them. And from far, Karuk just starts with his crossbow to attack and sends Cleo, his hawk, to scout out to see, well, if there are two goblins. There might be more. And he is absolutely right. As soon as Cleo is in the air, they are attacked in the back by another horde of goblins. It was a trap. It was a bad trap, and they fell in there. So they start fighting, and it's not only a few goblins. They are with a big bugbear, and apparently another boss of them, a very, very big and bulky goblin that seems to be their lord. This kind of goblin, the hobgoblins, are sometimes born out of a goblin mother, and the poor mother, they are much bigger and a very big problem, but they grow to be the strongest of the goblins, so it means they also grow to be their leaders. So between the bugbear, which is, well, a goblinoid, but a very bulky, very strong one, but not the smartest, and this hobgoblin, which is exactly as, well, as stupid but also as smart as a goblin, but bigger, they have a big troop, and it's really, really a bad fight. They have to fight a lot until on the first front we have the two dwarves that are fighting to keep at bay all the dangerous goblins, and they keep the back free for Zalnat, who from time to time just stabs one down and for good. And unseen to everybody, Amber just searches for a good moment where the goblins are massively together to just shoot a fireball in the midst of the big wave of goblin that is attacking to the front. So attack after attack, it's getting problematic. The goblin lords, the goblin lord is always getting new recruits to the field, and the bugbear seemed really problematic to get down. When suddenly, from the back, appears an orc ranger. It's a very strange sight. Orcs normally are more of the tribe kind, but this one seems to be alone. And good for them, he attacks directly the goblin hordes. So it's a fight against the goblins, a fight. Even the token is a goblin in this booster. That's a very goblin heavy booster. And the fight doesn't get long because the intrepid outlander has not come alone. He has come with a friend, apparently a bard, a tiefling bard, and together they attack the goblins from all sides, and with the fireball and the attack from all sides, they have a big chance of winning this whole situation. After the fight, the orc and the tiefling speak with our party of friends. Zalnad just goes to the front to speak with them. Well, hello friends, and thank you. You are much welcome. It is nice that you arrived when you did. We were kind of in a tricky situation. What can we do for you to express our gratitude? And the orc, we want loot. Well, sure, but we actually fought together, and we should probably split the loot among everybody. And the tiefling, well, it is so nice to see you, my friends. But you know, we were after these goblins for quite a while now. So maybe we could get all the loot from these goblins. But for that, in exchange for the whole thing, we would also give you information. Information that will probably be of very, very high interest to you. Well, I have to think about it. And Zalnad had not to think long about it. Zalnad knew goblins didn't have a lot of things. Typically, a goblin has 2 possessions, 1 per hand, and that's about it. So, without consulting his friend, just said, "All right, give your info, and we'll let you have all the loot." What are you talking about? No. Let them have it. Well, what we can give you, my friends, is a map or an indication where you will find a descent into a gorge that is in the hills of the Lost Tears, and there you will find your way to defeat a demon. We have heard that there, at the end of the descent, is a small but very cozy lair of what appears to be a demon, a dangerous demon. Well, you don't know if that is not a Demogorgon, don't you? Well, my friend, It might well be, it might well be. All we know is that we both are not feeling strong enough to get there and attack frontally. We've heard the loot might be legendary there, but, well, we just don't think we are strong enough. Well, why not joining us into this quest? Oh, that's very kind of you, but me and my orc friend, we kinda had trouble in the past with the humans, and your party is surely not very human. I'll give you that, but we know you'll soon go back to civilization, and then we don't want to. No, thank you very much. We'll keep to ourselves. But here, take this map, and with that, you can venture into the dungeon of the Demogorgon. So our friends knew now exactly where they could hit the beholder without having to attack him frontally. Just start by taking out one of his lieutenants, and the final attack wouldn't be as hard. And that's how they started their trail to that crevasse where their new friends had told them they would find it. And after a night of rest, from the other side of the river, they decided to trail there and had actually no problem finding the entrance to this descent to the dungeon of the Demogorgon. They probably would have missed it were it not for the indications of their friends or of their fighting comrades. So, after a good night of rest, they started going down a small stair, a very highly polished steps that were kind of dangerous, mossy on one side and slick on the other side, kind of quite dangerous. They had to advance very slowly, and the more they got down into this gorge, the hotter it would get. And in the end, they saw that this small gorge was descending to be somewhere that looked like something like a lake of lava, as if this hill was a volcano, which they didn't know would be. And as for Karuk, well, friends, this is not natural. I don't think this is a good thing here. There shouldn't be some lava back in the pit. It's something magical. Someone probably opened a portal to somewhere in the demonic world. I don't know. Well, my dear friends, to be honest, I don't think this is directly a portal. That's probably some place where all the both of the planes are easily reachable, and where sometimes, well, the lava from the one world gets onto the other one, but not something man or humanoid made. I think that's probably a bad sign that now we can see the lava. It means that both planes are touching right now, but I don't think that's necessarily the worst, or at least necessarily too dangerous. We'll just have to be more cautious. The demons might be a tad bit stronger right now. Well, I'm not sure I like it, but if it's to fight a demon, I think we're on the right side of what to be done. So, friends, let's get down with it and let's kick the hell out of this demon. And that's how our party arrived at doorstep of the Demogorgon's lair. And since I've run out of cards, there were a lot of goblins today. It must have been an epic battle against the goblin with a lot of death. I propose that we stop here, although it would be then a short video, but well, sometimes the cards just want a short video. And we'll continue with that tomorrow, and we'll see tomorrow how our group goes into the dungeon of the Demogorgon and fights their way through. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your participation on Twitch. If you have any questions, I will stay in the chat a few minutes. If you see this on YouTube, it's actually very nice of you to be here and to have watched until the end. I'd be very happy if you could give me a thumbs up and if you could subscribe to the channel. I've been researching a bit how YouTube works, and apparently subscribing is nice and good, but if you don't activate the bell, you know what I mean, you will not know when I do a new video. So, well, I'm doing this thrice a week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and I try to upload the video the next day on YouTube. But still, you might miss one. So that'd be also nice if you were to click the bell. Apparently that's something important, something I didn't know, which I might need to do for the channels I am following, actually. And, well, still, thank you for staying up until the end. And this story is gonna see a continuing next day, tomorrow. So I'll be here, and I'm happy you will too. Have a nice evening, have a nice day, and dream of good adventures in the future. Bye bye, and see you tomorrow.